Hi, everyone, and welcome back to ACC. My name is Dani Lee, and I am the LLWP Program Manager here. And with me today is Bev Martin. Some of you may know her. She's a longtime ACC volunteer.
Yeah.
We're so happy to have you here today, Bev. Now, could you tell us a little bit about your experience with bingo?
Yeah, I came to ACC when I saw the callers were having such a hard time. The people were giving them a hard time, so I went to Jennifer. I said, it's time for us to help. And Will came to us and said, I need you girls. We go, wow. So then we decided we'd do floor monitoring because I didn't like the way the people were doing them. And they were a little older, volunteers, and I was young.
They needed the young blood, right?
Right, they needed
your
it.
young energy.
And a
right.
tough energy.
Oh, and you put them in their
Yes,
place. Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Then I met Merle, and then I met my little buddy over there, and we just worked in there, and I enjoyed it. And the best thing I liked about it is they told me we don't pay our volunteers, and I like that. The rest of them got paid. The other organizations were paying their volunteers, and Jennifer and I weren't getting paid.
And you guys were doing a great job,
we
too,
were
for
doing
free.
the job, but when they came to us and said that, I was happy.
That is so
and
nice.
I had a good time. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, they might not have enjoyed it as much if they were getting paid, right? Now, on your screen, if you are interested in playing bingo with us today, there is a link at the bottom that you can click on. Now, this will take you to a PDF. When you click on this, you need to download it, and that way you can print it from home. You can go ahead and comment on the Zoom if you have any questions, then we can help you guys out. There should be a download button at the top right-hand corner of your screen. And so we'll let you guys take a few minutes to download that. We would only like you to print 3 of them. Now there's 75 on there. Do not print all of them, okay? We're gonna choose just a couple pages. You can do 1 through 3, 10 through 12, whatever you guys prefer. So just be careful when you print. And I do want to bring up another person up here. I have Meryl Yamasaki here, and she is also a longtime volunteer. And I'm going to hand the microphone over to her.
Hi.
Now, Meryl, what was your favorite thing about bingo?
One of my favorite things about bingo is meeting the various players and also those that came to play. They became your family, part of your family. It's very intimate, loving, and besides, we won money.
The money is fun.
Yeah, the money is very important.
You're doing it for free, but the money's fun. Okay. I get it.
Yes.
And you were also a caller, right?
I was a caller, and we also sewed papers as well.
Okay.
We did a lot of various things.
Right. So
just to help the charity.
And it seems like both of you just did whatever you needed to do to help out, right?
Oh, absolutely. Bev and I were great partners.
We called together, yeah.
We played together. We called together.
Oh,
so
fun.
we had a lot of fun.
And we became family. We became like family.
And how many years did you guys volunteer together for, would you say?
I don't know. I didn't keep up with the years. They said come, I just came. I don't know how many years it was.
I worked with Art, Imagire, and I worked 20 years.
Okay.
Of calling. So it was a wonderful experience. I had no experience about calling, but pretty soon you learn how to do it. And I was glad to have Art there to assist me. Yes.
Great. We have a whole room of volunteers here that are you'll be seeing soon, and they're going to tell you a lot more about the history of ACC Bingo. But hopefully, all of you guys are able to play at home with us. And again, put your comments in if you have some questions on how to download your bingo card. If you guys didn't join us earlier, click the link on the screen and you can download the PDF and print about 3 of them. Again, don't print everything. It's 75 pages. Please don't print it all. We're not going to pay you for all those pages. And then ladies, do you have any last words before we start up playing some bingo here today about your memories or anything maybe about the future of bingo you want to talk about?
The future of bingo? I have no idea what the future of bingo is anymore. I understand you play from your car. I don't know. I haven't played in a while.
Just be sure that if you have the last number called, that you call bingo. Or if we call the next number, you lose.
Yeah.
So be attentive and alert. And you get to win money.
Again, money.
Money is a key word.
This is what built this home here.
Yes.
So we're really proud of it.
Yes, and I think ACC is so appreciative to have volunteers just like you
Absolutely.
guys for years and
Okay,
years.
thank you, hon.
Thank you, Meryl. And then so Bev is going to stay with us to continue to call. And then we also have an assistant here to call, Jean Shiomoto. A couple of you may know her. And if you do get bingo, go ahead and comment into the comment section or unmute yourself. You can shout out bingo. And so Bev is going to go ahead and start up here.
Okay, your first game is going to be a straight line bingo, and your first number is in the monitor. It looks like I-25. I-25. All right.
We'll just put these right back.
G57. G57.
We got them all.
I-27. I-27. O68. O68. In 31, in 3, 1. The lucky B5. B5. O71. 071. B13. B1 3. In 32. In 3 2. In 43. In 4 3. B15, B1, 5. O64, O64. I30, I30. G56, G56. G46, G46. G51, G51. Wait a minute. B11, B1, 1. G48, G4, 8. I29, I29. Yeah, we got a bowl full of numbers here.
Okay, you have to unmute
Here's the
and say
next
bingo.
number. G47, G47.
I hope you downloaded the bingo cards.
O61, O61.
We're getting a bowl full of numbers.
N45, N4, 5. Please check your cards. Make sure you didn't miss any numbers. G50, G50. Let's see here. Oh, N35, N3, 5.
We're not playing blackout. One line, right?
One line.
One line.
One line. I22, I2, 2.
You just guys want to hear Bev calling numbers.
These are bad papers. B9, B9.
Bingo! Bingo!
Oh, we heard bingo.
Oh, we got a bingo.
Okay.
All right, all right,
Okay.
all right.
Show your card so we can verify. Oh, yep, that looks like a good card. Okay, who is that?
This is Parker Hess.
Hey, congratulations! Congratulations! See there, yay! Hey, our ACC's first virtual bingo winner.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, we're going to do another game. So we'll put those balls back in. What was that?
Ask him some questions about the anyone in the ACC.
What was the next number?
Who did?
Ask the winner if they know anybody in ACC.
Oh, so the winner, if you can still unmute, do you know anybody, any of the volunteers at ACC Bingo? Go down memory lane.
You remember me? I'm Doreen. I was coordinating your schedules.
I know.
I'm the one that would beg,
See you
please, if
again.
you're free, can you help us at the volunteer bingo station?
Yeah, and now you get to play bingo. How about that? All right.
Okay, we're going to start a new game. So still have your cards out.
Same game.
Same game, straight line. Okay, here we go.
All right, same game. Your first number is G56. G52, G52. I30, I30. The number B5, B5. N32, N32. B1, B1. Your next number is N31, N31. I21, I21. Under the B14, B14. O72, O72. B9, B9. I29, I29. N36, N36. O64, O64. Under the B, number 7, B7. Under the G, 54, G54. N43, N43. O68, O68. 8. B13, B1, 3.
Okay, are we getting close? Anybody got a bingo? We're getting a bowl full.
Under the G, 50. G5, 0. Under the N, 42. N4, 2. Okay. Oh, here's a lucky number for you. Number I-26. I-26.
Bev says you guys didn't get good paper.
Bingo.
I told you.
Bingo.
Oh, bingo.
I-26.
Okay,
We have a bingo on I-26.
Lucky number. So who is that?
Kirby
Let's see who-
Fukushima.
Who's that?
Kirby Fukushima.
Hi, Kirby.
Hi.
So let's see your card. We have
Can
to
you see it?
verify honor system.
Can you see it?
No, we can't see your card yet.
Where do I put it?
Just put it on the screen.
It's on the
Turn
screen.
your camera on.
My camera?
Yeah, we need to see you.
I don't know where the camera is.
Francis needs to verify that you are who you are.
Francis, you know me. I was a volunteer.
Okay, we're going on honor system. Well, so all those balls. Okay, we'll call it a bingo, right? We're
Okay,
gonna call it a
I don't know
bingo.
where my camera is.
So thank you for playing. So we had a good time hosting you for this virtual bingo and the two winners today, Doreen and Kirby. And so hope you had fun playing along with us and bringing Bev back to call the numbers.
Right, I
think she-
enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed this. A lot of
Okay.
numbers, though.
A lot of numbers. Bev said you guys didn't download good cards. She said you needed to trade your cards in because she called a lot of numbers.
This machine is different, too.
So,
Okay, let's play again.
okay, we're going to get ready for the real program. And so I'm going to, who do I turn it over to? I'm going to turn it over to Dani.
Oh, okay. You saved the battery.
Okay, thank you for saving the battery, Bev. Okay, well, thank you guys. Thank you for joining us for bingo. We have some wonderful programs coming up next quarter. So make sure you guys look out for the ACC newsletter coming out soon. And it's going to show a lot of different programs than maybe you're used to. We have some different speakers that have several topics that are really interesting and really helpful for our community. And so we really hope you tune in for the whole session. Some of them will be 3 series again, just like Robin's plant-based eating. She will be back, but with different topics this time, and she's going to have some guests on. And of course, she's going to do some yummy food demos. So don't miss that. We also have one of our new employees, Kala, and she is going to be doing a crepe demo. Did you know that?
She told me that. I can't wait to see. I love crepes, so you're going to have to tune in for that one.
Yep, I love crepes too. I've never actually made one. Have you made one before?
No, I just buy them.
Me too, me too. I can barely make pancakes, so I can't imagine what a crepe would be like, so skinny. Yeah, it's really thin, and I feel like I would burn it right away. And then we also have, if you guys tuned into our previous Jong wrapping class, Lana Fong Chong is going to be back for a Jong camp. And that's going to be where we have Jong wrapping, but we're going to have it a hybrid event. And so look out in the newsletter to see how to join that. But it's going to be outside, it's going to be distance, but we're going to have up to 20 participants here who can actually wrap the Jong in person. And then we're going to live stream it too, so you guys can all be involved as well. So look out for that in the newsletter. The other thing that we are going to be having next quarter will be Alyssa Chow back with a lot of really important financial wills and trust information again. So if you guys missed her last one, definitely tune into that. And then we have a new presenter, like I mentioned. She's going to be one of the series of talks, Mary Ellen Burns, and she has been huge in the Sacramento area on food history, art, culture, all different topics. And we're really excited to have her come to our community and bring along a lot of different information that maybe you guys have never heard about before. And we'd like to present that to the ACC community. James Scott is the Sacramento Public Library specialist archivist. He is going to be showing us a lot of different secrets of the Sacramento Public Library, so that's going to be exciting. I know a lot of us are familiar with the library, but many of us might not have even known all of the history that's behind it. So now, that concludes our bingo session. Again, thank you everybody for participating. I hope you had fun, and I hope that we can do something else like this in the future. That was fun, right?
It was fun. Yes.
Yeah, so I hope we can do it again in person, but of course we'll see what happens. But so in the next hour, we have a wonderful presentation coming up, so please stay tuned for that. But first, we have a song by Esther Hokama and Glenn Watanabe. Of course, they are also longtime ACC bingo volunteers. Esther is celebrating her 90th birthday this month. So happy birthday, Esther. And they are appropriately performing a song called Too Young. So Esther and Glenn, you can take it away.
Thank you for inviting us, and thank you for the introduction. They try to tell us we're too young, to really be in love. They say that love's a word we've only heard, but can't begin to know the meaning of. And yet we're not too young to know this love will last, though years may go. And then someday they may recall we were not too young at all.
Hello, welcome everyone to our very special presentation of the history of ACC Bingo. Hi, I'm Lori Lee, and I'm going to be your moderator today. Just to give you a little bit of background, I'm the daughter of Will and Frances Lee. My mom came home years ago and said she had volunteered to be the bingo manager 3 days a week. I was 24 years old and in and out of my family home, so it was a great opportunity to see both of my parents. My mom and dad clearly enjoyed all the volunteers and the players. My mom was usually in the money room and making sure everything was running smoothly, and my dad loved being on the floor. He really enjoyed being with the players and volunteers, smoking, talking, telling jokes, and laughing. We just didn't know it was going to last 22 years. We want to thank Esther and Glenn for singing Too Young. They were absolutely awesome. And thanks to Bev and Merle and Dani for calling our bingo games, and we hope you had a good time. It was great to see Doreen and Kirby too. So this is episode 5 of the ACC History Project, and I'm excited to be your host today as we walk down memory lane. In previous episodes, we talked about how ACC was started in 1972 by a very diverse group of people in the Asian community. Among them were activists, business professionals, and many civil servants. In the last episode, our panelists laid out the history of the Asian Community Nursing Home, now called the ACC Care Center. I still can't get used to that yet. I still call it the nursing home. The nursing home opened in 1987, but in 1983, 2 huge things happened at ACC to make it possible. One was land, and the other was money. Sacramento developer Angelo Sakata donated 3.5 acres of land for ACC to build the nursing home on. This was a huge contribution because there was no way for ACC to get permanent financing without land that ACC owned outright. To Angelo and his family, ACC is forever grateful. Thank you for all you've done for ACC and the Sacramento community. And then came ACC Bingo. Chewy Ito and the ACC board made a great decision to take it on in 1983, 4 years before the nursing home opened. Not only did Bingo fund ACC operations for 22 years, it produced a culture of giving and volunteerism that has powered ACC through decades of growth, all the way to the present day. Now it's my pleasure to introduce today's panel. In the red over here, we have Gloria Imagire. She's been my mom's friend for since 8th grade. And I think it's her deal that brought my mom to ACC many, many years ago. And to her right, or to my right, is Art Imagire, Gloria's husband. And he knew the ins and outs of bingo before and after, and he could do everything, and he was a caller. And here's my mother. And she was the bingo manager for 22 years and just did everything that we could ask about. Barbara Sotcan is here today, and she got to help out, and she was a staff member for many, many years. And she did all kinds of stuff behind the scenes, got bingo ready, and knew our volunteers. Janet Sakata, I actually met at bingo, and we've been friends ever since. And she has some great stories to tell. 2022 is ACC's 50th anniversary, and we are planning a lot of fun events, from a gala to a walkathon, a golf tournament, and even retro bingo. What do you guys think about us being here for 40 years? Okay.
We're still here.
So at this time, we're going to play an excerpt of an interview that Gloria did with Jiro Sakawa, a longtime bingo volunteer. Jiro was with the ACC board from the beginning in 1972. He is like so many people of his generation who answered the call to be on the ACC board, volunteered for bingo, which he did for 15 years, and did outreach for ACC in the community. Let's listen to Jiro talk about bingo.
You were on the board for how long did you do it?
I was a board member for 15 years.
Yep.
And then soon as the nursing home started to develop, then they were able to get more prominent people for board member. So Toko Fuji took my place.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
one? Okay.
and then after that, then I went help at the bingo
Yeah.
for another 15 years.
I know.
And then I retired after 15 and bingo.
Well,
So
you've always been supportive. I always think of you as the worker bee. You know, you were
yeah,
always
well,
working. You know.
yeah, that's
And
the
we
only thing I
needed
could
worker
do.
bees too, not
Yeah.
just. But in those days, everybody was, you know, they represented a Kenjin Kai or a
Yeah.
church or.
Yeah. We're trying to get budget for about 30,000, and we did a lot of
Fundraisers.
yeah.
Until bingo came along, which was
Yeah,
really big
bingo
bucks.
came out, and that's yeah, it was a really money maker.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to pass out the uh, $250 each game, and you know, 250, 20 games to 25, yeah, 7,000 went through my hand.
Yeah, I
every
know,
night.
I know it.
I mean,
Gloria, thank you so much. That was really a nice interview with Jiro. And you know what? He is a really nice man and worked really hard. So we all know bingo began in 1983. Mom, can you tell us how you became the bingo manager?
Well, it's a long story, okay? I had been on the ACC board since about 1980, and my son Robert was about ready to graduate from Kennedy High School, and I thought at that time that running a bingo hall, I didn't work full-time then, so it just kind of appealed to me. My husband Will was interested too, so I felt it was the thing to do. And in the 1960s, my mother had a brother, and his name was Uncle Dan, and he came to Sacramento after he had had a stroke in the Central Valley. And so my mother had to place him in a home. And way back then, you know, the homes were nothing like they are now, but I knew then that there was a need for assisted living and care facilities.
Wow. I think that's very true. So Gloria or Mom, you guys remember Joyce Sakai and Donna Alfook and how hard they worked at ACC and at bingo? Do you want to tell us about them a little bit?
Well, you know, to me, they're the untold heroes of this era because people now don't even know their names, you know, but it's kind of burned into our brain, right, Francis?
Right.
They worked so hard behind the scenes, you know, I just can't tell you how hard they worked.
There was
Hours and
only a
hours.
couple of them doing everything.
They did everything. And so I wish we could have gotten them here, but Joyce is in Berkeley. And I know Donna, they're together. And so one would not come without the other. So someday maybe we can get their story. Yeah, but they really worked really hard. I just can't impress that upon anybody. I mean, the way people work now, it's just, they worked so hard. I just can't tell you.
Didn't they share salaries too?
Oh, no, that time was before their time, yeah.
That was another time.
Yeah, that was another time, earlier time, yeah.
Many stories here.
Yeah.
So I think our audience would like to know what was happening behind the scenes. And Mom and Barbara, maybe you guys could tell us what was going on.
Okay, well, every session had 20 to 21 volunteers. 23, okay. All right, we needed a bingo manager, 3 people in the money room, a floor manager, 2 callers, 3 at the sales table for early bird, mid bird, and supplies. 2 pull tab bar managers, a pull tab sorter, 5 monitors to sell paper on the floor, and 2 monitors to sell pull tabs on the floor. And each organization at Mayhew had their own office, but you had to set up, each time you had a session, you had to set up the money room, the box office, sales table, the caller stand, so that everything would be in place for the volunteers when they got there. After the session was over, we had to return everything back to our little office so that the next day, the next organization could use that room and everything that we used. We could not have done bingo for so many years without the support of the ACC staff, who worked tirelessly to ensure that each session ran smoothly with adequate volunteers, rechecked our reports, submitted monthly reports to Sacramento County Bingo, paid our suppliers, kept us in compliance with the county bingo regulations, and networked with other bingo operators. And Barbara will now speak about filling positions and what she did on her end from ACC. And she also came out to the hall and filled in, and she'll tell you now.
What's the most amazing thing? I came on in about 1992.
Mhm.
And when I walked out there and started getting oriented, it amazed me that this little person here had been doing all of that by herself for the years prior to when I got there. Because for me, I was out there 2 days a week, working long hours. And it was all I could do to get everything done, and yet she had done that all by herself without two people up until that point. So that was amazing. Back in the office, at the first of every month, we would send out a letter after fixing the bingo schedule that we thought would work. We had 200 volunteers. We had about 200 slots to fill. But the problem was that there were some jobs that were very difficult. The caller, the floor manager, the desk in the money room. You couldn't just get someone off the street to do any of this. They had to be trained. The caller, to be trained, would have to go out to the bingo hall for 2 or 3 hours and get trained to do that job, and then practice a lot before they could do it smoothly. There were a lot of easy jobs, like selling the early birds at the front station when you walked in. We could get our 75-year-old ladies, I say that now like I'm not now 76, right? But we could get our older volunteers, and all you had to do was sit on a stool and sell a piece of paper for $1. And so it gave the older people a chance to get out and hop up and see their friends. And we treasured our 20 and 30-year-olds because they could run that floor, and it's a huge bingo hall. You gotta believe it's way, way bigger than the room we're in, way bigger. And there were a lot of physical jobs, and there were mental jobs, like the money room, and the pull tab managers had to be real good and quick with money. I remember one time, we had a lot of fun at bingo. Tom Kudo was one of our pull tab guys, tall, handsome guy. And one of the games that we sold, pull tabs are a lot like lottery scratchers for those that haven't done it. And we have a variety of them. One of the games is called Stud Poker. And one of our regular bingo people came up to the pull tab bar and walked up and said, "What, no stud?" Tom Kudo didn't skip a beat. What am I, chopped liver? Our people were fast, and they were funny, and they were friendly, and we were the best and most popular bingo operation out there because our people were nice. We were fair. We worked really, really hard to make it fun. For instance, for our volunteers, every year we'd have a volunteer party. And Francis would pick out little things from a catalog, like this was a pocket knife that says ACC with our address on it. That would be one of the little things. And then I drew these pictures, and they would be on sometimes T-shirts or mugs and things like that. And then at Christmas time, we would do a big banquet dinner for all the bingo players. And so we're trying to find the microphone. And then once a year, we did a big party for all the volunteers. Francis would pick out a lot of prizes, which would always include a 5-pound sack of rice for every single volunteer, and that's like, what, 200 times 5 pounds, that has to be moved into the Chinese restaurant and then given out to all the different people. You remember that, right?
I do.
So the hard part about getting the bingo volunteers. Okay, can you give it at all? We sent out the letter, and then we'd have to call them when the week came to see if, in fact, they could fit that slot that we'd put them into. And a lot of times someone would be sick or they couldn't do it. And so we're scrambling and begging and pleading, and There were certain people that like Will Lee, Francis's late husband. He must have been floor manager 5 times a month. You know, we just really overdid it with some people, and they were just so good and so willing. And I will never forget what a wonderful group of people. One of the things about scheduling is all the groups that came together, like Jean and James Chu, and Jean's sister, and Jean's sister, and Jean's sister, and Jean's sister. And they would all want to work together, so you'd have to, you know, slot them all in on the same day.
Right.
First day I ever went to bingo, they invited me to sit and eat with them, because I knew nobody. So, you know, I love everybody, I miss them, it was a wonderful time. There, I'm done.
You did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
So there was another person that was kind of like Barbara. Do you guys remember Mickey Amadera?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So can you talk about how famous she was about getting us to do stuff we really didn't want to do?
Oh, well, Vicky worked daily in the ACC office from the time she retired, and we were in the Tambara house until just a few years ago. You know, she just turned 100 in last September. But anyway, she did confirm the volunteers. She volunteered at bingo, as well as her husband George was a caller. But she was one person that no one could say no to. You would get a call from Mickey. You knew you had to be there.
We all knew that. Now let's look at some old photos that might jog our memories, and it's all about ACC bingo. Okay. So and then you guys can talk about them.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, that's an old newsletter.
Yeah, those are super old.
Mm-hmm. That's the one that I guess that says I'm going to be manager. I only know that 'cause Ted said that to me.
Is that your picture there,
Yes,
Francis?
that's my picture.
Oh, gosh, my eyes aren't that good.
Well, I was young then. I was going to say 48, okay, when I started bingo.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, maybe we could go on to another picture.
Maybe one that we can see.
That says bingo.
Yeah, that was outside the building, saying that Super Bingo was, you know, it's just
Out of Mayhew?
Yes, Tom Ross put those signs. That's a bench that he had done. You know, Tom was a good promoter of bingo for all the managers. He did promote Mayhew Bingo.
Okay.
The next picture.
Closer, Mom.
That's the managers of the 5 managers that started at that time.
Being from the different organizations.
Right, and it's first Harry Mark from the Mandarin Drum and Bugle Corps, Jean Benson from Stanford Home for Children, and then me, and then Amy Nishimura with the Developmentally Disabled Services Organization, and the last is Ann Seeley, who was manager of KXPR, the public service radio station. Okay.
You remembered everybody's
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Look how young Brian is.
Oh, yeah, that's Brian Shin. Yeah, and this is all before, while they're building the bingo hall, Ann Gordon, our consultant, conducted training sessions for all the organizations. And this was our day to learn bingo from a real bingo consultant. And so this is like on a Saturday or Sunday or after hours, and where we got many volunteers together.
This is Brian.
And that's a bingo ball machine with all the numbers in place.
Brian wants to chime in.
Oh, Brian wants to talk.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I was surprised when I saw that picture, and I said, it kind of resembles me, but I don't remember me like that.
That is you, Brian.
I just want to add that the person I'm speaking to with the good-looking tan legs, that's the late Satoshi Masuda.
Right, right.
Oh.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay. I think we could go to the next picture. Mhm.
Oh, Brian again.
Yeah, that's Brian, and then I'm not too sure.
Toko
That's
Fuji.
Toko Fuji.
Thank you. Wow. Wow. Yeah. That's me and Mickey.
Do they want to know?
Young and cute.
Both had black hair.
Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, Mickey.
Okay.
That's a list of all the bingo volunteers.
From the ACC News.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's more names.
What is that, Glenn?
Alan Ota.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Alan
Well, I
Ota?
just
Oh,
thought of
okay.
the name right now, but I had seen the picture, but it just came to me right now. That's how I am.
I think that's Dorothy in the background too. Dorothy Yee.
Fong.
Dorothy Fong.
Yeah. Dorothy Fong. Yeah, she was one of the callers
These
that
are
time.
real early days.
Yeah, really. Okay. And this is just our training session. Yeah.
Yoshiko Sambon.
Yes, that's Yoshiko. Uh-huh. Okay.
Oh, closer.
Oh, that's
Mic closer to your mouth.
Okay.
Speak directly into it.
okay. But yeah, that's just too hard to tell who
I
they
see
are.
Burrow and Auntie
Yeah,
Betty.
Burrow Hosome. So this is a long time ago. Real early days.
Chiz
On the far right?
Yes, I'm on the far right. I do know
and Chiz
that.
Ito is
And
in there
George
too.
Morita is behind
Yeah.
me.
Next to
Yeah.
Burrow on the
Yeah.
left.
See, some people have better eyes.
It's okay. Okay, next one.
Okay. Oh, this is Halloween in like 1983. Or
Early.
maybe 84. But anyway, this is a long time ago. And I'm not sure who all those people are. I know Ferris Yasaki was there and Neil Kozuma, many names from the past. Emiko is in there. Okay.
And Amiko's in the house.
Yeah, and this is Will and me, and we were mimes that year, okay?
Oh, very cute, very cute.
Okay. Not sure who that is. Yeah, I don't know. We're lucky to have these pictures. That's Vic Okamoto at the pull tab bar.
Is it really?
Yes, I know that's Vic.
He caught some ladies one time.
Yeah.
There was two Japanese from Japan ladies sitting right on the other side of where he was working there. And Vic wasn't totally fluent in Japanese, but he knew a lot and he knew obscure country phrases because of his grandmother.
Right.
And these ladies were speaking disparagingly of one of our monitors, and Vic piped up and he says, "That's not very nice." And they were so, because they were speaking in Japanese, they knew they were safe, but they weren't.
Well, thank you, Barbara. I didn't know that story. Okay. Yeah. And then, yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but it's in color.
Bingo Hall.
I know, it is the bingo hall, and it shows how crowded we were.
Is that before we put in the partition?
Oh, yeah.
Remember, we had,
I think
before
it
we
was
had it
before.
was all open.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
the
think
smoke
you're
was
right.
all over. You go home and
And then
dump the
later
stuff
on,
in
it was
the
divided,
laundry.
half
It's terrible.
smoking, half non-smoking.
Yeah, and then they put the partition in.
Right,
that helped.
right, they separated the rooms. Okay. That's the money room. Oh, and see, that's the hall in the early days, and that first year, we had pictures on the wall, and we have a picture of Mr. Okamoto on the wall, remember?
all those
And
pictures, yeah, I remember.
each large picture told why
the organization was there and why they were doing bingo. And it kind of told people what they were helping us with. That's our money room, I guess.
It looks like the money room.
Oh, that's
There's Francis
me
Lee.
Frank
Brian.
and Brian.
Okay.
Brian Shin.
Frank Martinez.
Frank
Yeah, Frank
Martinez.
Martinez. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure.
Well, it looks like Dorothy Fong in the back again, right?
Yeah, I
it
think
is
so.
Dorothy
Yeah.
Fong, so it's really the early years. Oh, that's, I think it's Francis Oda, and I'm not sure who the other person is. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Yeah, these go back to.
James.
That's James Chu. Mhm. And more of the hall. Oh, this is our reunion that we had 2019 at Greenhaven Terrace.
Oh.
And I'm not sure how many people were able to come, but we were able to get quite a few people. So these are all that reunion.
I think there were about 90 people there.
Oh, okay.
There's Mickey down at the bottom.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm. So. Mhm.
We all wish we had better eyes.
Yeah, well, yeah, or if that thing was a little closer to us. Yeah. It's a. Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so across your screens, you're going to see about 400 plus names of our bingo volunteers, and they're going to be listed on a ticker somewhere across your screen. And if we have missed a name, please contact ACC and let them know. If you're on Zoom and you have a story that we want to hear your stories. So if you have a story, please raise your hand or put your name in the chat box and we'll get to you. Janet, do you remember those that worked for other bingo halls and donated their proceeds to ACC?
I know a couple, that Rose and Fred Nagao. Actually, Fred used to do, I think it was Kennedy Bingo or Florin Road Bingo.
Right.
And Shoji Sakawe.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to donate their points, which turned into money.
Mhm.
And then twice a year, ACC would get a large check from that,
Wow,
from their volunteerism.
that's nice.
Right.
That
it
was
it
awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of money. It was like a couple $1,000s, I
Mhm.
believe.
That's nice.
So that was real nice of them.
And it kept them from having to go clear out to the Mayhew Hall. They could probably work at the Florin Road one, which is
Well,
close.
they did that, I think Fred and Rose started doing that when their kids were in band. It was
Yeah,
Kennedy
yeah, the
Bingo.
Kennedy
Right.
band,
But
yeah,
it was something that they, he continued to do as well as help at Mayhew.
that's right.
He
did
just
go
had the
out there.
proceeds of that Florin Road bingo come to ACC.
That's
He
great.
he could designate it to any place, but he chose ACC.
We never did that on our end.
We
So-
didn't pay any of our volunteers.
We
Oh,
did,
they were paid. That's how they could do
Mhm.
that.
because they were in the city, so they had different
Oh,
regulations.
I see.
And Shoji Sakawe did the same thing. He donated quite a bit of money through that.
Right.
Through that other bingo hall because they got paid.
The only thing we did is we fed our people.
Oh, yeah, our
There was a nice
$3,
little-
our $3 food coupon.
Did you have a food coupon? Is that how
I
it worked?
remember that. And that's where Amiko Kashiwagi came out one day and she had spent her $3 on a fat boy. And I said, what is that? Because it was a huge ice cream sandwich. Remember those? Anyways, hey, is Rose on and Fred? Because I think they had something to say. Are you guys there?
I think Rose is on.
Is Rose on?
I don't know.
I'm here.
Oh, yay. Hi, Rose.
Hi. Hi. We started, like you said, we started with Kennedy. We were known as the BSers, the band supporters. And then once the band folded, Dick Gurry, manager, asked us what nonprofit
Rose,
charity.
I'm sorry. Can you put your camera on?
You know what? I'm not very good at this.
It's going to be on the top, and you just hit start video.
Or it's start. Okay. There we go.
Yay!
I'm so impressed. I really am.
You know, I'm so old, I can't do these techie stuff. Anyway, we started with Kennedy Band, and then when Dick Gurry, when our kids graduated, he said, is there a nonprofit that you would like to have our credits go? And that's how the kids earn money for their band trips, was they got credits as working back in the 80s. The kids were able to work at the hall and earn credits, and then they paid for their trips. And so Dick Gurry said that, and so Fred said he would do it to the ACNH. And so that's when it started. And he did it until, Foreign Roll Bingo is called Sacramento Consolidated Charities. They closed down because of the pandemic. And so that's why we started. And then with our Tom, he was an old schoolmate of Fred's, and we didn't know he was so supportive of the nursing home until we started bingo. And we started talking, and we found out he is a big supporter for the nursing home, and he still is. And he self-designated himself as my daughter's godfather when she was born. So it goes way back in the 50s when Fred was going to high school that they played football together.
Wow, thank you.
Wow.
But thank you all for doing all your hard work. You all do a lot of things for ACC. I hope to get back in the groove once the kids are grown. My grandkids are grown, so I have more time. So thank you all, everyone.
Thank you, Rose.
Yeah, thank you.
We have another longtime bingo volunteer, and I think he worked for other organizations even after we closed. It's Mike Tanaka, and he recently had a heart attack, and he's recuperating, so we wish him well. But he wrote us a story, and it says, I found my time volunteering at ACC Bingo to be one of the best times I ever had. The other volunteers were super nice, and we all got along from what I saw. Everyone helped each other out there where necessary. I actually was sad to see the day ACC shut down bingo sessions. I was hoping that someday ACC would again pick up bingo sessions. Working New Year's Eve session was interesting and fun, with a lot of regular players intermixing with the volunteers. I don't know if it's funny or embarrassing, but one time when I was calling the double action game, I accidentally called the same number twice. For example, if the number was G54 came up, we would call G54 and then reverse it and call it N45. Well, the number N33 came up and I called the number twice, knowing there was no reverse number for N33, since 3 and 3 are the same. All the players laughed and I was wondering what was funny. A lot of the regular players really gave me a bad time. So I'm sorry that happened to you, Mike, and we hope you get well really, really soon.
I got a comment on a couple other caller stories.
Okay.
That happened to me actually when I was calling. There was a couple of my favorite customers. If you remember Gloria and Mac McTeer.
Yes, I do.
And they used to always sit up by the caller stand. And the other one was Olive Kilson. What was the husband's name?
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Was it Vic?
You remember
Vic
the?
Tilson.
Oh, Vic.
Vic Tilson.
Yeah, Vic. He passed away.
Right.
But they were but anyway, Gloria and Mac would be sitting right up by the caller's desk. And when I'd be calling, and I'd go to put up, like, for instance, the wild number, she'd go. Put it away.
So they were helping you.
Yeah. Well, you know what's sad? Bev just told me that they both have passed away. I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Gloria and Mac? Both? Oh, gosh.
We called him Mac.
And then Gloria told me that Or did I tell the toilet paper story?
No, you didn't. No,
Yeah, you could tell us.
One time when we were, had the old hall, no partition, and the benjo was on the diagonally opposite the
That's the bathroom
office.
for those
Yeah,
of you who aren't.
but anyway, and there's, as I recall, there was a huge blank space in front of the entrance to the toilet. Anyway, so the poor lady came walking out, tracing, and she had a toilet paper stuck in the back of her skirt, and she had a big long trail of toilet paper on her.
Did you help her out?
Well, that's all I have.
Thanks, Art. Those are pretty cute.
Well, you know, we had to do everything out of that bingo hall. There was more than once when usually Francis and sometimes Francis and me had the plunger and the mop in the ladies' room out there. You cannot run bingo without a bathroom. It has to be operational, and you can't wait for some plumber to come. So there she is. Hello, Francis. Plunging the toilet.
I told you she was making things run smoothly. So how did we help the Mandarins? I know we had so many sessions, and then what happened?
Well, then you see, at the end of our first year, we were having a hard time filling the Saturday afternoon
Francis,
sessions.
put the mic up to your mouth.
Oh, what's wrong with this other mic?
You don't have it on anymore.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, anyway,
Francis, you have to go up.
You have to talk directly and straight
okay.
into it.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay, at the end of our first year at Mayhew Center, it was getting so difficult to get these volunteers for Saturday. We didn't have so much trouble for Wednesdays and Fridays, so then we decided to give up the Saturday sessions. So we only did it for 1 year, but it was tough. You know, we were there Friday night, and then we had to be there again Saturday morning to set up. So it really was tough, okay?
Yeah, and 2 days was no easy.
No,
case,
it
so
wasn't easy,
I can't imagine
but
3.
it was nice because we had our weekends free, okay?
So we were in the county, right?
Yes.
And there were other things happening in the
Well, there
city?
were bingo halls in the city and county that ran with different regulations, like freelancers and Kennedy Bingo, they were in the city. While Mayhew Bingo, Bingo Palace, and then there was another one out there on Hazel, they were in the county. But as manager, I participated in bingo audits, attended state hearings, and meetings as needed.
We know you were never around. So I know we had a huge financial impact for ACC, and we made lots. And we don't have a huge figure for you today, but Gloria was trying to figure it out. She said on a good year, we made...
That wasn't the best year when we cleared 300,000. You know, and I was thinking the other years we were doing 200 or 250,000.
Yeah.
So then I was thinking, gosh, if it was 250, then in 4 years we would have made $1 million. So I was thinking, in 20 years we did make millions, I think, don't you think?
I think we
I
did
think
too.
so. And I never knew any numbers,
Yeah.
really.
No.
Yeah.
It was the chief fundraiser for ACC
Yeah.
for a long time, and
Yeah.
we worked. Our entire operation was about a quarter the size of the room we're now in, and it was a workroom. We all worked in there, so there's no overhead to speak of, just a few, three salaries. So you know,
Anybody else on Zoom?
clear profit.
Is there anybody out there on Zoom that wants to tell a story? Well, they'll let us know, I'm sure.
I want to tell a story.
Okay, you tell a story.
I have lots of stories, but, well.
Something we can say on camera?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. But to me, it was like the really great human interest story about bingo. Do you remember Nancy Wu?
Yeah.
You remember her? Well, I was talking to Nancy, and she was pregnant when we first started in the money room. And that was the first time I met her. And afterwards, I used to always ask her, how's the bingo baby doing? How's the bingo baby? So then today I called up because I thought, I got to get some of this stuff straight in my head. that girl, Ellison, is now 37 years old. And I always called her a bingo baby. But I was talking to Donna, and she was pregnant, and I could see this pregnant girl in the money room. She did it 2 days a week. Yeah, she did it 2 days a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. And she worked as an office manager for Bel Air on Florin Road. So she said, like, okay, so Wednesdays and Thursdays she was off. So Wednesday when she went, she was off, yeah, Wednesday, Thursday. But when she worked on Fridays, she said she had to be at work by 4 a.m. Then she'd get off work, take a nap, and then go to the money room. And she did that until January of 84. And that Ellison was born in February. So she worked till the last minute, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just so impressed with that because I said, well, wait a minute. That means that on Friday night when you got off, you know, she was home usually by about 11. Then she had to get up and go to work at Bel Air at 4 a.m. again. I said, wow, that
And
was
pregnant.
really,
Pregnant, yeah.
Yeah, and she said she rarely went out of that money room because at that time smoking was allowed. And she, being pregnant, she didn't want to go out there, you know. And she was so organized. She told me that she used to make the money all come out the same way. And I said, gee, I thought we learned that from the bank. But she did that, and she took her own rubber bands in there because she wanted to. And then she talked about this Sort Quick. And I said, what is that? It's those finger moisteners so that, you know, and I said, well, I didn't know they call those Sort Quicks. But anyway, it just, that story, I just loved it. I like to tell everybody. And she got into it because she lived across the street from me.
Yeah, they did live across.
Yeah.
But shortly after they had the baby, then they moved over by Kennedy.
Okay.
So you reminded me telling that story of her little gadgets, that Frances Lee made all the denim aprons
Yes.
that everybody wore, and they had pockets in the front for
Yeah.
the money and the bingo papers and everything. And yeah, they're so sturdy, we still have them. And we can use them. And then who was it that made the wooden sorting trays for all our schools?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody made those.
Yes,
Somebody
they
worked
did.
on them.
They did.
Was that Sam?
Sam Kaneko?
Maybe Sam Maranaka.
Maranaka.
Yeah, Sam
I bet you
Maranaka.
was.
I think it was.
My other story is, well, to come in, I was looking for something. I don't have a shirt or anything anymore. I got rid of everything, but
Let's see, Janet
Frances
has
made,
hers on.
I know it. And Frances made this, you know, with the bingo pattern, you know. So, yeah. But the other story I wanted to say was that, you know, I was a bingo manager and I used to always have these multiple winners. And I think, did Francis guys do the numbers right so that we wouldn't have multiple winners? But one night I had 40 winners. I could not believe it. I gave everybody like $4 and a quarter or something. When all those hands went up, I thought, I'm having a nightmare. It was so crazy. Yeah, it was horrible. I don't know. They all told me I had the record for the most winners.
I think you did.
Oh, that has to
Because
be.
I had 27. That was it.
Yeah.
27 on one game.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
60, something like that.
You know,
I wonder, how did we pay them all? I mean, how did we identify them as
Oh my
winners?
God, we had
flags.
things all, no, but we didn't have enough flags even. It was crazy. We had, I don't know, we marked them in some way.
Yeah.
They all got paid.
$4.
Thank you very much. Dani is online and she wants to say something.
Okay.
Yay. Hi, Donna.
Yeah.
Are you on mute?
Well, no, I see her picture.
We can't hear her.
Okay.
Okay.
You're still on mute.
We can't hear you.
Okay.
Hi.
There you go.
Hi. How are you doing?
I think we're okay. Thank
So
you.
now we're unmuted.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So, you know, I was always amazed that people, so many bingo volunteers would get off work, and because we had to be at the bingo hall by, what was it, 5:30 or 6?
Right.
Because the bingo session started and people started to line up, and sometimes they would be lined up out on the street to buy into bingo and then get the right seat. and get all of their daubers and everything set up. So all of the volunteers really had to be on time to get to the bingo hall. So the volunteers had to leave work on time that day, and many of them ate the snack at the bingo hall. They didn't go home and have dinner first. And then the jobs that were on the floor, actually like selling paper or selling pull tabs, or the floor manager, people were on their feet from about 6 o'clock at night until 10:30 or 11. So many people, just like Gloria was saying, I mean, there were people who really put a lot of physical effort into helping us with bingo so regularly. I mean, it was just amazing. And to have 21 to 25 people every bingo session, and then sometimes ACC had 3 sessions, but towards the end we had I think we had 1 session a week, because it was so difficult to get regular volunteers. I think recognizing that it was such a sacrifice for people who worked during the day and then had to really take another half-time job, it was like 4 hours to be on duty, was really, it was really asking a lot of all of the volunteers. So the volunteers who did that for the whole time we did bingo were just amazing. You know, just like when I first came to ACC, and I was realizing that Francis and Amico and Gloria and different people who helped to count and reconcile all the pull tabs and all of the papers during the week, had to set up all of these things during the week. It was over a 20-hour job a week. And everybody volunteered. People didn't get paid to do that. So if you multiply that times all the years that bingo operated, that's such a substantial gift. It's such a substantial sacrifice for ACC. It was just amazing. In the early years, actually, if ACC wasn't doing bingo, I believe when I look back over the financial statements that the nursing home would have closed if ACC had not been doing bingo. ACC was able to care, ACC's care center has 99 beds. And of those, 70% or more were the care was paid for by the state Medi-Cal program. And almost like most care centers, it meant that we didn't get the cost of providing the care. So the way we made that up at ACC is that we used the bingo proceeds. So for so many years, the proceeds from bingo really enabled the nursing home to keep their doors open. And then as things got better and the financials at the nursing home got better and broke even, the proceeds from bingo really enabled ACC to get some reserves, and then afterwards to really expand into its programs at the Park City Center and then later on. So part of it is just like we said at the story for the start of the nursing home. In the early days, just like all nonprofits, ACC had no assets, had no collateral. And bingo really enabled ACC to develop those reserves so that it was able to expand and it was able to grow services to meet the needs in the community. So it was really a shame in many ways when ACC had to end bingo. And I think many people realized that it was because the governor at the time had signed a compact with the casinos, and the tribal governments basically negotiated for all electronic gaming, legalized electronic gaming in the state of California, to be in the tribal gambling places. So that meant that bingo, which had evolved into having electronic machines, which were sort of like slot machines, that they became illegal because they were electronic gaming. And so there were several times when not the county, but really the state tried to force many of the bingo halls to comply with the compact because, of course, the tribal governments didn't want the bingo halls to be competing with them. That was the reason for the compact. So that towards the end, ACC started to get notices that, like at one time, we got a letter saying that the county could send people in to close down our bingo sessions if we had electronic gaming. And while it's true that all of the bingo halls and the bingo sessions had electronic gaming, we were concerned that we would be used as an example. And we had some jurists and many members of the bar among our volunteers. And one of the things we were concerned about is that if for some reason the county came in to make sure we weren't doing any electronic gaming, we didn't want any of our volunteers to be arrested.
Thank you, Donna.
So that was a major concern among the, the ACC board and ACC, that we didn't want to get into a big news article about what bingo was doing that was against the law. And also in those days, once the tribal government started to open their casinos, a lot of people started to go to the casinos and fewer people came regularly to bingo. And so I think in the most popular years, there were more than 100 people coming to bingo for every session that we had. This is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, people spent like sometimes up to $10 to buy in, to buy paper, to buy pull tabs. Some people spent much more than that a night. So that actually, that all contributed to bingo being a great fundraiser for ACC. So it was too bad when ACC had to stop bingo as its fundraiser, but that resulted in the board spending quite a bit of time coming up with other ideas for other fundraisers. I'll stop there. Maybe Brian or Francis want to add to that.
I'm fine. I think you said it
Your
well.
mic.
Oh, yeah, your mic.
Oh, I'm fine. I think you said it well, Donna. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna, very much. I think we have Mei Lee on through Zoom.
Oh,
hi.
Hi, everybody. I really want to say thank you so much, Donna, for talking about all of us volunteers, but I really have to go back to what Francis and Gloria is saying, that they had really good years, but like most of us, yeah, we would get off work and rush over there, and we're all professionals, but oh my God, I want to say to Francis that we never, when we were supposed to come back and give us the money and do the count, we were shortchanging ACC because we could never get the count right. And Francis and Will, I think Francis really said, and you guys call yourselves professionals, you can't even add, but you don't realize how difficult it was. We were out there running, selling paper, and people wouldn't want they want 10 sheets of paper, they want this, they want daubers. Oh, and we were just really, really getting confused. But I think we survived. And by the way, I just wanted to say, there was one of those pictures, the guy in the beige sweater, that was Milt Yee. That was my late husband. So he was in that picture. Yeah. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, May, very much. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Janet has a story, and then Brian's going to come on.
Oh, okay. Real quickly, I remember talking about the money room. You know, we got, I think it was $30 we got for the whole night.
Right.
And after every game, we had to come in and balance against the cards that we sold. So we were doing that one night, and it was 3 guys and 3 women. And I think Jiro and Hodge and another person, and I can't remember who the other women were. So we would come in and we'd tease each other about like if we balanced or not, you know. And at the end of the whole night, we threw all our money on the table with the cards that were left, and all the guys were short, and all the women had more money. So women are just a little bit better with money, I think.
There you have it.
Thank you. We have Brian Chin.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Brian Chin.
I just want to finish Donna's story about the history of bingo. Just want to close out the story in that once the board of directors decided we wanted to stop bingo. I forgot his name, but someone then approached the board and says, I got this wonderful idea to replace some of the bingo proceeds. And that's how we got the crab fee.
What? The
Crab fee.
The crab fee that we all
Oh, that's
enjoy
how that happened.
and miss and are missing. And also that also led to the golf tournament.
We had the golf tournament for you.
That's how the golf
Jerry
tournament, the crab feed started.
Brian, it might have been Jerry Seed that brought the crab feed up.
Yes, I forgot his name. Yes, God bless him. Yeah, so that's how we got the crab feed and the golf tournament.
Wow.
Thank you. Well, it looks like we're just about done, and but I just remember going to bingo and thinking it was kind of fun. We looked forward to going. Once we got there, we knew everybody, players and volunteers, and we truly became kind of a family. And it's continued several years later, 40 years later, we're still all hanging out. So anyways, I appreciate the panel and everything that they said today. And if you have anything you'd like to add? Maybe not. Okay. But thank you all for joining us today. And you can view today's recording and previous episodes of ACC History Project at accsv.org/history. And as we say goodbye, we're going to have Esther Hokama sign us out with her special rendition of Smile. Thanks again, everyone, for your participation and bringing these bingo memories to life. From all of us here, happy holidays and happy new year. Woo! Bye.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. Though there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by if you smile through your fears and sorrow. Smile, and maybe tomorrow you see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your faith with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. La da dee da 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 da. la da dee da.